Hi there! In this video we're going to talk about area and perimeter of rectangles. So the first thing I just wanted to mention is why would we need to know this? There's a lot of real world problems that come up that use area and perimeter, so it's really important to understand the difference between the two and how to use them to figure out things that you might need. So I just wanted to basically talk about first the actual rectangle. So looking here, this is the shape of a rectangle. We know that in a rectangle, our opposite sides are equal. So these two sides are equal and these two sides are equal. You'll see on the bottom here that this has a length of 7, which means the top also has a length of 7 on the right hand side. This has a width of 3, so that means that the left hand side also has a width of 3. So I've given you the formulas right here for area and perimeter, but I just wanted to talk about what they each mean. So if I look down here, I want to know what is area. I'm going to move this over here out of the way. So what is area? An area is like the flat space that an object takes up. So I'm going to highlight this area and say in here, this is represented by the area, and you can think of it as the number of squares that are inside, or just the number, if you were to lay this down, like what space would this be taking up, that would be the area. And we know that the formula for area is length times width, and when we're looking at a rectangle, we have a length and we have a width. Okay, so here, if I wanted to find the area, I would say that my area is length times width, which in this case, my length is 7 and my width is 3. So I would multiply them together and I get 21. Now, I didn't give you any units here. So because I give you no units, we just write units, and area has a square value because we're taking units times units, and something times itself is squared. The other thing is what's perimeter. So perimeter is the distance around your shape. So I like to think of it, if I was standing right here, okay, and I wanted to take a walk all the way around my rectangle, how far would I go? That's what perimeter means. So it's going to be the distance around if you were to walk around the shape. So to do that, you'll notice that I'm taking my 7, and then I went 3, and then I went 7 more, and then I went 3 more. So if I wrote out what my perimeter was, 7, and then 3, and then I went 7, and then I went 3, that's the same as 2 times 7 and 2 times 3, which is where this formula comes from. So I could figure this out. This would be 14 plus 6, or 20. Now, because I didn't give you units, we just write plain units. And perimeter is linear, which means it's just something that's not squared. It's just the units that we give you. So that's the difference between the two. So let's work on a couple problems. Let me move this down here out of the way. So it says the perimeter of a rectangular garden is 296 meters. If the width of the garden is 66 meters, what is the length? Okay, I'm really visual. I have to draw this out. And it doesn't have to be drawn to scale. So I have a perimeter, and I'm going to write this in the middle. Perimeter is 296 meters. It says my width is 66 meters, and I have to find my length. Whoops, and I'm going to call it L for length. Okay, so because they give me perimeter, I'm going to use my perimeter formula. Perimeter is 2 times the length plus 2 times width. I'm going to plug in all the information that they give me. They tell me that perimeter is 296, so I'm going to write that here. They tell me that my width is 66, so I'm going to write that here. I'm going to make what I call a skeleton. 2 times blank plus 2 times blank. Okay, and in those things I have to write what I know or what I'm trying to find. So here I have my green. Here I have my blue. And I don't know what my L is. So I'm going to leave this as an L because that's what I'm trying to find. My green, my perimeter, we know is 296. And I know that my width is 66, so I write that in here. And feel free to use a calculator, by the way. If you don't know what 2 times 66 is off the top of your head, that's okay. You can use a calculator. So I'm going to multiply out first 2 times 66, so I get 296. Oops, and I'm going to put a line down the middle. Equals 2 times L plus 132. I have to get the L on a side by itself. So first, I'm going to subtract 132 from both sides. This goes away. So I get 296 minus 132 gives me 164 equals 2 times L. Whoops, and I'm running out of space here. Let's shrink this so we have some more space to work. Okay. So now I have to get L on a side by itself. So this says 2 times L. To undo times or to cancel it out, I have to divide both sides by 2. So I get 164 divided by 2 gives me 82 is equal to my length. And my units here is meters. Okay, there's my first one. All right, let's do the next problem. Okay, the next one says the area of a rectangular window is 6,365 centimeters. I had a squared here. I must have moved it. Squared. If the length of the window is 95 centimeters, what is the width? Okay, so again, I'm a visual person. I'm going to draw this out. It says my area, I'm going to write this in the middle, is 6365 centimeters squared. My length is 95 centimeters. Find the width. So my formula for area is length times width. They tell me my area here. They tell me my length here. So when I make my skeleton, blank equals blank. I don't know my W, so I'm going to leave it there. W. In here, I'm going to write the stuff that I know. And in here, I'm going to write the stuff that I know. I know that my area is 6365, and I know that my length is 95. So I need to get W on a side by itself. This says 95 times W. To undo times or cancel out times, I'm going to divide both sides by 95. And when I divide both sides by 95, this cancels out, and I get W is equal to 67. And here my units is just centimeters because I'm finding my length or my width. I'm not finding the actual area. If you have any questions, let me know. Good luck.